Alright, I'm back. Deon with Fitness Assassin. And I have
Another one.
what we're going to talk about today. We're going to finish up the last topic from last week. Fitness, Finance, Assassin, Volume 2. Today is Friday, January the 6th, 2017. The very first week of the year, man. Everybody wants to save. Everybody wants to save. That's what they always say, right? The reason why nobody ever saves is because they don't put forth the true effort to save. I'm going to try to teach you guys something a little bit more far-fetched, a little bit more interesting, something. Hopefully I don't bore you with this because we're just talking about money here, man. We're just talking about money. It's very, very simple here. Everybody says, for example, if I get $1,000 in my paycheck this week, I'm going to start saving this year. Come on, man. For real. You're gonna really start saving. You cannot just say, I'm going to start saving. You're never going to do it. You got to put a specific number out there. I'm going to start saving $30. I'm going to start saving $40. I'm going to start saving $100. Every paycheck a month or every 2 weeks, whatever you get paid. That's how you save. You have to actually speak those words out. You can't just say some blanket generic statement like I'm going to save. Nobody will ever do it. But I'm going to show you, well, I'm going to teach you one way that you can guarantee that you will save. Everybody says that I'm going to take my money and whatever I have left over, I'm going to put that money into my savings account. And that's the main reason why you don't save. You know why? Say that you get $1,000, right? Out of that whole month, you have $30 left over in your account. You're supposed to take that $30 and put it into your savings account, right? That's what your plan was, right? But when it really happens, your next paycheck comes in, and let's just say it's $1,000. I like round numbers. That $1,030 will get absorbed in with the other amount, and then you won't save it. Bottom line, what you're supposed to save 60 now because you were supposed to save the 30 before, it's not going to happen. It will never happen. What you need to do is this. When you do your budget every single month, because the budget will change every month. So I do mine at the beginning of the month because each bill is different. Power bill is different. Utility bills are different. Sometimes your cell phone bill is different. Whatever is not considered a fixed income is different. So your bills change every month. Your budget needs to change every month. The very first line item needs to be savings. And then what that does is, let's say that you said you want to save $100 every month. So you want to save $1,200 a year, right? You put $100 at the top of that list. Out of that $1,000, now you have $900 to work with. You will budget the rest of that money accordingly, and you will feel better about yourself because you know that you put that money aside in case you needed something. Now, what are the things that you need as far as the savings go? As far as I'm concerned, there's 3 main reasons that you want to save for, which means that there's going to be 3 different savings accounts or 3 different categories of savings. The very first one will be for an emergency. That is the biggest one. So with an emergency, it is key that you have 3 to 6 months of expenses saved up. When you do your budget, you know exactly how much money you're going to spend every single month. Bottom line, whether it's your rent, your mortgage, your utilities, if you still have a car loan, your car loan, tuition, any of that stuff, those are considered expenses, especially if they're for a long period of time. Whatever that amount is, you need to set aside 3 to 6 months of expenses. Now, I know you've heard some people say 12 months is more ideal. You need to have a full year of money set aside. Hey, there's no wrong answer here, as long as you're saving. Personally, I do 6 months. I'm going to tell you the difference between 3 and 6 because those are the numbers that I normally play around with. You can get away with saving 3 months of savings if you have a reliable job, like you're in the military or you're a government employee or something like that, something that's pretty much a contract type job where you're going to be there and you know you're not going to quit or you can't get fired. 6 months is if you're in a little bit more of a volatile situation, like you're a realtor or something like that, or you're a business owner where you have your money fluctuates a little bit more, so it's a little bit unstable. That's when you need to have more of a 6 month range. Um, you can put out a blanket. Just I'd rather have $10,000 in an account than I know that I will not touch in case an emergency happens. Now, what is considered an emergency? That's a big question too. Emergency. Your roof starts leaking. Your transmission goes out on your car. You get into an accident and you need your $500 deductible. Those are emergencies. Not when the pizza man comes ringing the doorbell and you don't have the money to pay this guy and you're like, oh man, let me go pull out the money out of my emergency fund to pay this $20 pizza. That's not an emergency. That's poor planning. You knew how much money that pizza was going to be before you placed that order. So don't pull that. So those are the big keys for emergencies. The other big key is in case you lose your job. That is hands down the biggest emergency that you could ever face, because you don't need to be in crisis mode. You need to be in a state to where you can locate a job and find a job, whether it takes 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. You hear what I'm saying? Not that long. But another thing about emergencies, once you have an emergency fund set in place, you stop having emergencies. Bottom line, I have yet to use my emergency money. Nothing happens, ever. Anytime something pops up, I just pay for it out of my own pocket. And it's never a big deal. Never a big deal. Now, what I want you to know for the second part, short-term goals is what you want to save for. Short-term. Short-term meaning, let's say that you wanted to go out and you wanted to purchase something not that expensive. Or let's just say less than $1,000. We'll use a camera as an example. Say you want to get a decent camera for vlogging or shooting your kids or whatever you want to do. Costs $700. So let's do simple math here. Say you want to save $100 a month. That's going to take you 7 months to get for a camera. Sounds like a long time. Believe me, I know. But when you save and you just decide that you don't want to go to Best Buy and open up a credit card account to go purchase a camera that costs that much, you will make a way to get that money a lot quicker, is what I'm trying to say. I personally purchased my camera used. Got it on eBay. Got a hell of a deal for it. I think I paid like $500 when this camera's what, $1,000? It's used, man. I look good in the camera, right? You can't tell that this camera is used. I can't tell that it's used. But the fact that I paid for it in cash, I'm already winning, man. I'm already winning. So, long-term goals. Very, very long-term. Two of the biggest long-term goals that I can think of: saving for a car. Like I said, I paid for my car in cash, $20,000 Lexus. Let me tell you the difference between buying a car on credit and paying for a car on cash real quick. My blue book value for my car was $25,000. I came in with $20,000 and took the car away. You know why? Because I had more leverage. I had cash in my hand. I said, there's no way that I'm walking out of here without this car. Bottom line, I went to Craigslist. Told the dude, look, man, I don't see nobody else here. You want this car sold or you don't? That's the power of cash. When you run in your credit, you be like, well, let me, hopefully my credit will be good enough to get it. They have all the power, man. They do. You're going to pay whatever's on that sticker. And then they're going to hit you with all these fees before you walk out of there, which is going to make... Save for cars, man. I'm going to give you one good tip for saving the car. Average car note today, $500, let's say about $500. It's really $484, but we're going to round up. If you save an average car note for 10 months, you have a $5,000 car, right? Get you from A to B. It's a pretty decent car. I mean, you can probably find like a Honda Accord for $2,500. Could work, could not. But a $5,000 car is pretty much reliable. We can all say that, right? Now, you want to step up. You're going to do the exact same thing. So you're going to be driving around in a $5,000 car for the next 10 months while you're saving another $500, which will give you another $5, right? Now you can go and purchase not really a $10,000 car, because if you're like me, you will and deal, you can probably find a $13,000 or $14,000 car and pay $10,000 for it. That's the power of saving. Short-term, long-term goals. Next thing is college tuition for kids. That's a huge expense. It can be. Anybody that's sitting on student loan debt right now, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Savings educational plan. They call it an Educational Savings Plan, ESA. It allows you to save $2,000 a year. It's not that much. I mean, it's not that much set aside, but if you do it from age pretty much 0 to 18 in a decent mutual fund with an annual rate of return of 10 to 12%, it is very possible. I have mutual funds that do at that, some do above that, some do below, but it's an average. 10 to 12%, that kid will have $105,000. 105. And you know how much you would have invested? $36,000. That is it. That is the power of compound interest. I love it. I love that topic. We'll talk about that later. Today is saving. So just make sure that you put your money in the places where it has very low risk. Again, your savings is not a place to invest your money. You want to have security in your money. Security is the key. You want to be able to readily pull that money out wherever it's at in case something happens. So you don't want it tied up in the stocks or anything volatile like that, because your $10,000 could turn into $1,000 in no time. And then what? You got to rebuild and start all over. So those are my 3 tips for today. Emergency fund, short-term goals, long-term goals for savings. It needs to be the first thing on your line item list when you do your budget. And I'm going to leave you guys with one challenge before I show you my next video. Challenge you for this year. This is the first week of the year. Most people get paid tomorrow, or today, I should say. Save $1. $1 for the first week. Second week, you're going to save $2. That 2 plus that 1 is 3. Simple math. The following week, $3. 4, 5, 6. Every new week, you're going to save an extra, well, pretty much $1 for that week. So by the end of the year, it's 52 weeks in a year, you'll put $52 into that account. So you started off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10th week you put in $10. 20th week you put in $20. You know, it continuously grows. You will have $1,378 in your account by the end of the year. Small savings, man. So those are my tips for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Now we're going to get to this workout. In this workout that you're going to see right now, you're going to see me struggle. But then you're going to see me overcome and persevere. Get stronger. Get in profit for 2017, man. Trying to push 225 for the first time by myself. And you're going to watch me persevere, man. Do I get a PR or do I not? Watch and see. I'm Deon with Fitness Assassin. Do not forget to like my video, man. I put a lot of effort into this one right here. Like, comment, subscribe, and I appreciate you. I'm out. Enjoy the next video coming up.
More, man. Bro, you don't want me spotting your truck.
That should be alright.
How do you like your spot? Let me take it off. I don't got it.
Actually, let me get a lift off. Almost. This time, no lift off. You get the weight now. You feel it this time.
Come on, keep going. Yeah, good job.
That's what it was,
Good
man.
job. It was on your head.
You see your boy hit that 225 on the incline bench, man? Boy, that's progression. That is progression. I remember when I first started, man, I was starting off with just the 35s on the incline bench because 45 is too much. Then you progress up, then you progress up, then you progress up. You know, incline is very difficult to push heavy weight on. Flat bench, it ain't no big deal. The 225, sometimes you got to get out of your head, man. So the first time I did it, I think it was just the dude's hands. I said, let me do my own lift off. I need to feel that weight. You know what I'm saying, man? Feel that weight. Get it in your mind. It'll block it out and bust through. Assassinate.
Do you mind?